All right, so I want to talk about the chest opener. What is the chest opener? It's really dumbbell flies, like the old school dumbbell flies, right? I started bodybuilding. I was like 17, 18. Of course, I'd seen the Arnold doing the flies, with a 100-pound dumbbell. So of course, I had to do that because I wanted my chest to be as big as his. They didn't work out, but that's not for the lack of trying. The thing is, anytime I went through at a certain weight with dumbbell flies, they always messed up my right shoulder. I have external torque issues on the right from crushing my foot as a kid. But unfortunately, dumbbell flies just hurt my right shoulder. Like I could do it a little bit, but all this after that started to go. That's because, and you know why? That's because I did it wrong, right? The problem was not the dumbbell fly, the problem was me. So I've found a way to keep the pec fully engaged on the dumbbell flies and not trigger toward the shoulder. So that's why I'm calling it a chest opener. So it's going to allow you to keep the pec engaged in a full range of motion while maintaining internal torque, the definition of internal torque mobility, right? So first I'm going to show you what I don't want to see, right? And then I see most people too on a dumbbell fly. It's a shame because it can be an excellent exercise, it just has to be done right? So this is what I see most of the time. People, as they engage on the way down, they're going to let their arm turn this way, right? When you do this, that means you are going toward what is called the clavicular head of the pec, which is external torque. You're going to go toward the long head of the bicep. This is going to stress your shoulder tremendously. What I want you to stay in internal torque, right? So that means it's going to be internal torque on the way down, internal torque on the way up. And that's why I call it an opener, because it's not an acyclical from external torque into internal torque. That's just too rough on the shoulder. What I want you to do is I want you to do it internal torque, to teach you to engage the pec major, what is called the sternocostal head, this head right here, to develop this part of the pec, right? So internal. So to do that, that means first of all, I cannot let myself turn like this, right? So how do I control this? It's always the main arch. I'm going to make sure I engage my external obliques completely in order for me to keep that internal torque going up and down. So how am I going to be able to make sure I keep my external obliques engaged? This is where I use the kettlebell for. So I'm going to show you that setup can be done on your own. You don't need 6 people to help you. I'm going to put the kettlebell on below the belly button. That's the most important part. If the kettlebell is on top of the belly button, I'm going to arch. I'm going to go back into external torque. So I never want to be arching here. I never want my lower back off the bench because that means I'm going toward external torque. Especially on the way down, do not do that, right? Put the kettlebell below the belly button, and the entire time I'm going to push against it. By pushing against the belly button, my low abs into the kettlebell below the belly button, you're going to notice my lower back flattens against the bench. I'm in a true hollow position. So basically the dumbbell flag like this is going to look a little bit like an iron cross, right? A very light one because I'm not strong enough, obviously, to do a real one. So below the belly button, I'm going to push up like this, grab the dumbbells, get into a position, breathe through my nose, internal torque, push the kettlebell as high as I can, and from here, down and up, right? Inhale, push, and up. When I do this way, it allows me to keep all the stress of the movement in this part of my pec, right? So not in this part right here. It's called the sternocostal head of the pec major. This is what I want. I don't want you to go here. So I don't want any, because this is the part of external torque. So I don't want to see any rotation of the arm like this. I want you to stay here like you're hugging a barrel, right? Kettlebell, push as hard as you can. If you engage the main arch with the external obliques, it should keep you into internal torque. Whenever I do that, it allows me to stress here on my right pec instead of here. And that allows me to do flies with over 20 kilos without hurting my shoulder. That is the first time since I'm 18 years old that I can do flies without busting up my right shoulder every time. Why? Because I stay in internal torque. So I'm treating this as an opener, right? Internal torque. And so that's why we call it the chest opener. It's really dumbbell flies done correctly. And that's the point, right? So as usual, try it, right? Don't believe anything I say just because I said it. I want you to go to the gym. I want you to try it like this and tell me if you feel your pec in a better way. So make sure, remember what mobility is, range of motion while maintaining the proper torque. If you're going too low, you're going to start switching. You are not doing the chest opener anymore. So don't go past your own mobility, okay? Thank you guys.